Friends, thank you for watching my channel. I just want to remind you, if you need wallpaper, go to www.wallpaperboulevard.com. Tell them Spencer sent you. In fact, if you use my hashtag, Spencer Colgan is wallpaper, they'll be sure to give you 10% off at your checkout. No matter how much you order, they have a wide selection of wallpaper. Check it out. So you want to learn how to wallpaper around pipes, right? What I'm going to show you here can be used under your pedestal sink. Yes, this is behind a washing machine, but I'm not at liberty to say, it's behind a washing machine, who cares? The customer cares, and so do I. And so I hope you will use the technique I show you here, and that it makes your project look beautiful. So let's talk about where we put our blade first, because really, in my opinion, that's where we all seem to make the mistake. So I like to call it the first obstacle. As I put my paper down, look at what's hitting my wallpaper first. Not the pipe, but the escutcheon, the ring around it, right? Now that'll come out nice and easy. This gives you some room for mistake. But this is where I'm cutting my pipe first, this way. Now, this is where yours truly made his errors when he began doing this. How far do you cut this? Ideally, wouldn't it be nice to just simply put a hole in this wallpaper and push it back over the pipe, right? Well, if you think about it, you really can't do it. If I slit it this way, my pipe still comes out to here. I won't be able to get it over here. So you might say, well, just put it on. Good luck doing that. When you're installing wallpaper around pipes, you hang the wallpaper and you bring the wallpaper to the pipes. You don't try to map this out like a carpenter and say, well, one hole is here, you got two here. That's not the way we hang wallpaper. It is the way, however, to put up a piece of plywood or a piece of sheetrock on a wall and you have obstructions. Yes, you measure and you then cut the hole. You know what I mean? Like if you're putting sheetrock up around an electrical box or a socket box, as they say in the UK, then you would do it like that. But wallpaper, you bring the paper to the obstacle and then you deal with it. Now, having said that, I'm going to cut here because when I start, actually I'll cut a little away from the wall because we have an escutcheon there. So I can cut here and then straight, not like this, but straight. And I'm gonna make a seam on my wallpaper, so therefore I want it nice and straight. So I have to keep the wallpaper square. What do I mean by that? Well, it can't be like this. See, that's not square. And it can't be like this. See, that's not square. Square is this, so that my line is straight. Now you have geometric wallpaper, and so even though my line is a slightly off center, I'm going to go with the line, because the line is not only going to give me straightness, it's going to give me a place where I can hide my cut. Let's do that. The Brits love to use scissors. Good for them. And because of them, I use them. So I'm cutting. I'm going to cut right up against my black line. Okay, so I'm just going to cut up against it. Not enough yet. Wow. Not too bad. Where is my other knife? Are you the type of person who loses his tools frequently? Honestly, I can't stand it. So all I did so far was cut along that line where I told you. That's it. Now, I'm going to make this easy for you if you have an escutcheon. Oh, goodness gracious. Not only an escutcheon, but we have a cap that's not properly attached. But that's all right. I'll give you a better... Okay, this I want you to see up close. Okay. All right. Now, we talked about the first obstacle is this, right? Okay, now we have a cut, but watch this. Now here's an obstacle. Look, you want to relieve these tension points. I'm going all the way against the wall. I'm slicing. And look what's happening. My wallpaper is beginning to conform to the diameter of the circle, isn't it? Don't forget to get it up against the wall so you don't cut too much or too little. You see? Now this technique I'm showing you is particularly important around pedestal sinks. You know what a pedestal sink is, right? Did you ever hear of putting somebody on a pedestal? I haven't heard that in a while. But you married girls. You hear that a lot, right? Just kidding. See, I just relieved the stress. Now, this gets tricky. Watch this. You start to think, oh, I'm just going to wrap it around it. Not so quick. Go up to that wall where it meets the pipe and cut that tension out of it so that you can get a true seal on under here. See this? If you do this right above the pipe, your wallpaper will fit nicely around. Okay? Now, I know I'm going above and beyond, but it's for the purpose of the video. You got to do it right, especially when you're dealing with sinks. You can see how people get sloppy around pipes. Look at these bumps, right? But we're not allowed to do that. We hang wallpaper. Okay, so far so good. How is it underneath the pipe? Now watch this. See that? This is very important that you do this. You go right up to the thing. And I'm not pulling straight. Oh, no. We're dealing with a round obstacle. You always want to go up. You see how it's pizza pie? Like? If you don't cut it in the right direction, you will have cut either too much or too little. It gets tricky. So now we run around the big pipe, right? But look, I'm not meeting up there. So you have to make sure that you're cutting it properly around these pipes. And the only way to do that is to simply ensure that you're cutting it close to the wall against the pipe. And this way, your wallpaper will meet up underneath it. Look at that. Look at how that's meeting up. Now, let's get this thing off. Okay. Now, our wallpaper is meeting up here, right? But now we have another obstacle. Now, make sure your wallpaper is square. Remember I said square? Now we don't have a straight line as we did up here. So now we gotta do this right. Push my wallpaper, make it square. See what I mean by square? Look, this isn't square. Can't cut it here. If I cut it here, watch what happens. Remember this area. Watch this. Look where the cut goes. You're cutting over here. So now you know from this video that you make the wallpaper square. See that? And then when it's square, you're going to cut along this line. Okay, so let me do that. So I took my blade, with 2 hands I was holding the wallpaper, and I cut straight against the pipe, thereby making it a square cut. Now, I go right up against the wall where it meets the pipe. I make small slits. And I do it all around the round pipe. And if I do it right, my wallpaper is going to meet up. But if I do it wrong, my wallpaper will have stress on it and it won't meet. Okay, so let me do that. So I did just that. I cut my wallpaper underneath these little 2 pipes all around. You see that? Let's get down there for you. You see that? Relieving the tension. Now, please cut me some slack here. There's a lot of bumps here. They kind of got a little sloppy with their texture and whatnot. But you get the idea. You get the idea. I know you do. That's how you do it. It's about... So that's the practice now. In theory, what you're doing is simply relieving the tension of the obstacle that's preventing your wallpaper from laying down. Once you remove the obstacle methodically, what I mean by methodically is A to Z. You don't go to G when you haven't crossed B yet. You go to A, B. So this was A. Then as we went along, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. You see? And then we start again. A. That's the first obstacle. And then you go along. And when you think of it like that, you'll get the understanding of what I'm trying to convey in this video. Let me clean it up for you and show you the end result. Okay, so let me show you how it looks without putting anything back so that you see the good results. Remember, cut me some slack. The guys were very sloppy down here. Okay? But when we put the escutcheons on, then we can really judge the appearance, okay? So, first the big one. Now, why am I not trimming that wallpaper? Okay, the reason why I'm not trimming it is not because I'm lazy. You don't trim soaking wet wallpaper. First of all, there's no need to, as you can see. And secondly, it'll tear. So when you're hanging wallpaper for a long time, this video is made for, do-it-yourselfers. So don't trim it in that case, because you'll tear it. You want to trim it if you have OCD. Come back the next day when it's dry, and it'll cut and tear like a piece of office paper. But if you try to do it now, that tear will become a rip. So we don't want to do that, right? Okay, nice. Where's this one? Put that on, nice. Okay, guys, what do you think? What do you think? The real judge is on the seams, right? If you can join seams around this type of stuff, you're in business, okay? You're in business. And that's the finished product. Okay, if you like the video, please click on like. That's the finished product. Remember, this is a textured wall, so the bumps are texture, not sloppy wallpaper installation. Please remember that as you look at this video.